So I'll give it a few minutes before I start. Oh, I had to put this dress on. It's not my favourite, but it is quite hot. Let's see what's going on with this. Hang on 1 minute. Let's see if I can. Where is it? Where's the thing? Oh God. I've got some cards to pull. I'm trying to. Oh, what's it doing? Does that turn around? Oh yeah. That way. Right. Can I get bloody angles right properly? Pull this up, I will get the silly messages. Oh, I was in the garden. I'll just give it a few minutes before I start, because I felt like just coming with some energy. My lovely gemstone necklace on. What is going on with this? Let me see. There we go. I know what I'm doing. Ooh. Before I get started, I might as well just show people again who might have not seen the bags that are coming out now. This one, The Magic Was Within You, one of my drawings. I think there's going to be this one. I don't know what I'm calling this one yet. And the fairy. And there might be my blue angel as well. I'm not sure yet. Over on Insta, which keeps getting to put underneath, but I will do. Yeah, I've got some cards to pull out. I've got the blue book to read out of. The magical blue book. If you dare say hi. Yeah, I just felt like coming to do a cleanse, a powerful cleanse, because we're in, the autumn equinox. People call it Mabon, if I'm saying it correctly. I'm just saying about the shift. Just written it down what I've really said before, really, because, go like nature, like the trees in autumn, shed the leaves. We should be shedding our leaves, letting go of what we don't need anymore. Thoughts, feelings, things, situations, people, whatever it is, let it go. Start singing that song, let it go, let it go. Just let it go, and rest up and take it a little bit slower. Just observe things without reaction. And next year, come spring again, you'll be all up in a load of vitality again, because you've rested well, you're getting your mindset in check, your mind, body and spirit in check, and you've got next year to bloom again, going towards summer again next year, when we have most of our vitality and energy with the sun. But we sort of reserve it, is it the right word, over winter, like the animals do, like nature does. Everything sort of goes a little bit slower, ready to have some very powerful energy in next year, which I do believe will be very powerful energy next year. But talking of energy, I said I felt a shift today. Don't know if anyone else did. People let me know if they come in or on the comments after. There's somebody there watching. Who is it? So yeah, be like the trees. Also, the main thing we should all be doing is checking ourselves, looking at the whole of ourselves, which is, to me, the Trinity, mind, body and spirit is all of it. You can't just be in the mind, you can't just be in the spirit, in the spiritual realms, you can't just be the body. It's all three of them working together, firing on all cylinders, as I've said before. One is not without the other, because they're all connected. This is why I said the other day, you can get more people that are just in the mind. You can't be just in the mind. A lot of men can be like that sometimes, and that's not, offending anyone out there, but a lot of men can be more in the mind that way, and women are off in the airy-fairy. But, hi Kathy, you've got to balance it all. You can't just be in one all the time. But some are in some, and they're not drawing the others in, and it's about balancing them all up together. So yeah, don't think I wrote anything else on there that I didn't say before. I might forget this is why I've wrote it down, because I'm thinking about doing a launch next spring, and I'm not going to say what it is yet. Oh yeah, so when I was sat in the garden, and I've written an orange as well, because it was just, hi Michelle, just that lovely, it's because I was looking at an orange flower actually in the garden. I've just put, if you're feeling, and this is when I sat in the garden, I get a lot of messages when I sat in the garden, if you're feeling, you know, low in energy or down, or feeling something is missing from your whole self, it's a message to shake up something, try something new. If it's clearly not working, if things, and I'll keep repeating this and I will keep saying it, you know, if you feel there's something missing and you can't quite put your finger on it, and you don't know why you're feeling a bit, you know, you think this is going okay, it's going okay, probably it's a message to say you need to shake something up. There's something in your life that maybe you need to bring something new in. Maybe you need to go and do something, you know, like when we went roller skating the other weekend, maybe you need a hobby, maybe you need to try something new, learn something new. It brings a lot of good energy in. I was also looking at the word now, because we all talk about the now, and this says no worries. What did I write there? No worries. Oh yeah, no worries. Next year is a new start, meaning, you know, we've always got the now. You know, now you can start now. But, you know, we might say, oh, next year people might say, oh, I'm gonna slow down a bit to the end of this year. Lots of things going on. You know, I'm gonna nurture myself, which you should be doing. And in the new year, I'm gonna come out all singing, all dancing, and I'm gonna, you know, if you set some goals this year and they didn't work, then it's okay, restart them. But we would talk about the now as well. So obviously I was looking at the word now, and I was like, yeah, now means, I'm just saying this, nurture over worry. Nurture over worry. People who worry and people who fear anxiety and depression are, I've always said, a lot of people say as well, if you're too worried about the past all the time and you're always living in the past and you're always going on about the past and blaming the past, because I've also put on here, I'll read that in a minute, in the title. What did I put in the title, you two? If you're always in that, it's depression. And if you're always worrying about the future, it's anxiety. You just have to be in the now. If you're all right now, you're okay. Every now, in the now moment, every moment. But now, nurture over worry. So nurture yourself instead of worrying now. My goal is being free to express my true authentic self. Yeah, and everybody's is different. It's all about everything that has happened, good and bad, is for our highest good. Yeah, it is. The good and the bad are both there, the dark and the light, the yin and the yang. So it's like I said the other day, you look back and you'll look back on your life and go, oh, do you remember when that happened? But you always get through it and you always get over it. In at the time it's happening, you don't always think you will, but you do, because things move on, you know, and then they fall away, and then you look back and think, actually, I know that happened for a reason. I know that if this and this didn't happen, it wouldn't move me to this and this, and it normally tends to give you a kick up the ass to move, because it's the universe trying to knock you on the head. But what does my title say? I know it said something, change it, don't blame it, which means don't blame your situation on the past or others or whatever it is. Just change it, change something up, or start changing your situation. You know, for example, if you're somebody who moans about money and you want more money because there's things you need to do, then you have to put your foot forward to look for a job or something, to bring something in. Do you know what I mean? There's many different examples. You have to do that. Fall vibes are balanced and help me feel calm. Yeah, I love fall. You know, some people go, oh, I love summer. I go, no, because it's, like I said, it's that nurturing energy where you slow down, and, you know, like I said the other day, start reading books in autumn. Winter's just lovely more than summer, because you want to be out in summer and sat, even though you'd be sat in your garden reading or whatever, but autumn's that really, like, get your candles on, it's all cozy, it can be cold and that, but you can snuggle up to your pets, snuggle up to your partner, snuggle up to your kids, snuggle up to a blanket, whatever, and just put candles on, reading a book, good movie, whatever, and all that. And it is very calming, Michelle. Yeah. Hi Janina, people in chat. Hi Danny. So I love autumn, and it's that reminder to let go. Like I said, the trees out there, follow nature, They're letting the leaves go. They're letting go because them trees know, you know, well, next year my leaves are going to grow again. I'm going to have new shiny ones, all vibrant and gorgeous. And that's what we're like. You'll have new ideas, new goals. Maybe some goals you set this year you didn't do, or maybe you're glad you didn't actually do that because something else came in and you're thinking about that next year or now or whatever. Hi, Janine. I was born in autumn. I'm an autumn girl. Ooh, I was born in winter. Talking about that, I'm glad you just said that, Sue, because I'm going to look into something. Is really pulling me to look into where I was actually born. And I'm not going to speak about it because I know how it works on here with YouTube. So I'm going to look into it first because I'm very intrigued why it wasn't somewhere and it had to be somewhere else. Yeah, but I'm not going to put out where. Not yet. Always have cabin fever every winter, so I have to plan and enjoy every minute I can possibly be outside. Yeah, and it's funny because it was, if you saw me walk this morning, it was drizzly, foggy, funny weather. And then the sun's come out now and it's boiling. So I just went in the garden before I came on, and that's where I normally get a lot of messages. So, and like I said, I want to do a launch next year with something. And I'm going to put the date like springtime because that's just relevant. And I want to work on something over the autumn and winter because, like I say, you're in a bit more. And I think that will be a good idea. But I'll talk about that again. And like I said, if you're on Insta and you're interested in the bags, just message me over there because they are up. You can purchase it if you like. Always have, yeah. So what I wanted to do, because I was feeling very energetic, because I felt a really calm presence come over me today. I think it was before dinner at work because I finished after dinner anyway. It was like an energy shift up personally. I felt that. Don't know how everyone else is feeling. I mean, yes, I know the sun's come out, but it wasn't that. It was a very like, I don't know, thing. I've just done a little light language when I got in as well, but I'm going to do one now. I'm going to do a powerful cleanse because that's what I felt like I was being told to do. So that's what I'm going to come on and do. And a few cards. So I don't know which way I'm going to do it, right, go around it yet at the minute, but I'm going to, I might flick through my magic blue book, as I like to call it, read a quote, and then I'll do the light language, and then I think I'll do the cards. And light language is funny because the girl who came yesterday and had some Reiki, she knows someone who does energy work, different stuff, and does light language, and I'm thinking of going to her to have some healing as well with light language. And I want to talk to her. I've met before, I've been to a sound healing session with her, but also it's just interesting meeting people in your area that I didn't know she was into that, and she is. And I also had some healing done at the beginning of the year with a woman who is actually on YouTube actually, and she did Reiki with light language, and when I heard it, it was elemental, one of them, and I knew what it was. And her experience she had to waking up to that is so like mine. When people were with me when I did the whole painting with the orbs and I started getting all that in, but I might talk about that again for people who don't know about that. And she had a similar thing, and that's where we go with experiences. We can have similar experiences to people, so and it's brilliant. But you get other people who have similar experiences and they go putting stuff out that people are copycatting them and all this stuff that I've had on here, which I just find really, it's not a very whole thing to do, because a lot of people do have similar experiences because that's what's going on in the world. And then depending on what frequency you're in and what you're tuning into, you will have similar experiences. You know, if you look around the world, a lot of people are having similar experiences. They won't quite be bang on the same, obviously, because there'll be different details. Like this woman's details were slightly different. It wasn't to do with painting a picture and some of the things I was doing, but it was very, very, very similar. So I went to her and I had a chat with her after as well. But yeah, so if you don't go over to my community page, you might not have seen this. I always ask people to write a review in my book when I've done energy healing, but my community page, when you go on my YouTube channel, if you scroll across the top, it says community page. If you hit on that, that's where I've got things as well. So she said, this was my first Reiki session with Janine. Wow, such an amazing experience. At first, my mind was very busy. It soon calmed down. My heart felt like it had pins and needles at first. And that's because when I was going over a heart, I felt a lot of energy there, and I knew that I had to go, because I go down and I go up and I check again and then work on the area. I think it just needs a little bit more, and it was a heart chakra. because this woman does give a lot of love out, but she needs to give a lot of love to herself as well. You know, we like to help people, but we also have to help ourselves. So she said, my mind was very busy, but it soon calmed down. My heart felt like it had pins and needles at first, and then I saw a heart-shaped locket come into my heart and lay in my heart. It feels perfect now. She said she doesn't normally visualise things, but she did do, because she's been for energy work before, but she visualised, she saw like a heart locket, you know, a piece of jewellery being placed into her heart, and it was coiled around and it was in, and it was like locking in. And that's, to me, like her self-love happening, you know, and I picked up on that, and I did tell her that. And then she had some sound healing after, because I did a bit of sound healing as well. And it said the sound healing after was lovely, and the bowls, thank you so much, can't wait for the next one. And I spoke to her today, you know, aftercare, I do ask people how they're feeling for the next couple of days after. She said she's feeling really good, so that was brilliant. So that was really lovely. It gives me a lot of happiness that people are feeling that way as well. So yeah, but we were talking about cleansing and how negative energies attach to people, you know, throughout your day when you're at work, walking around other people's. If your aura's not strong, you're letting other things come in, and it can disrupt, and it can mess with your mind as well. You know, like I say, the thoughts aren't all your own, which I've been saying for a while. Always keep reading Michelle's same thing there. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of sound healing, just to bring it in, and then we'll bring in some light language. And if you want to join in, hi, Mr. Beast 714. Just close your eyes when I'm doing the light language. You don't have to understand what it is. It's before structured language. Just feel it, and you can always imagine, you know, in your mind's eye, your aura around you just maybe pulsing out. Do what you want, but, you know, getting rid of any negative energy that may have resided on you through the day. People's thoughts, you know, what people have been saying, anything. Just see it swishing away and being reflected back. You know, it's not holding into your aura. But if anything, just listen to the language. But it is better when you close your eyes, because you're not distracted, you're just listening, and it's the feeling that you get. So we want a powerful cleanse. So it might sound like, some people say sometimes it sounds like a elder, you know, like a native elder or something like that. So we'll see. I was just so up in it before. If you saw my little video before, I thought I need to bring some more in. So I'm just going to do a bit of when I start talking, just close your eyes and listen. See if you get any messages or colours or visions. Take notice of how you feel. Especially if you're feeling a bit down or anything like that. Anxiety, depression. And the intention is to cleanse negative energy away. Entities, beings, anything that isn't you. O shonora itana ora, e shotua niana wata, shutura, ono ora, usutona awa, ushutura era, enawa to shututura, ushutura anawa. E shatanora, ushutura, anawa oto, shunoriana wata, shitura. E shatanora, inora anawa, e shutonori. E shatanawa. Anawa, ishutura, inawata, shiteneawa. Ishuturi. Ishuturi. Anawa shuturi. Inawa. Inuriawa. Inu urianawa. Ushutura. It's going over the head. Eshanaria. Remember being the now. Nurture over worry. Ushunurianawa. Tushutura uraira. Nutu. Ushudinawa. Eshatoreanawa, ushutu urianawa, ushunurianawa, eshutu urianawa, eshuturianawa, ushuturianawa, eshunuria, eshunuria. Shunuri ora nawa shunura shunura shunuri anawa shaturu ura nawa. On the heart now. Shaturi uwanawa Sheanawa. Ushutoriana ata uria anawa ata shutura unura yanawa. Shatonura etu aqua shunura 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 etanawa tashinia utura. Anawana. 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 It feels like it wants to go on for quite a while, so I don't know. Ena oto ushunura eshatora ea anawa ato ura ushutora unawa anawa tichura. Any clingers on, any energy that's clinging on, that's getting rid of that. Shaturi anawa. Shaturi anawa. I don't know. I just went with the flow. That's me being intuitive. I just go with the flow of doing it and, you know, trying to get out of my way of like not feeling silly, just doing it, seeing what the feedback is. But I still feel this strong. But yeah, so let us know how you feel in the chat now or after. And I'm going to pull some cards. I'm just going to put these cards the right way. See what message we get. And funny enough, I've got like, I can't remember what cards these are, but like ancient wisdom, sort of earthly cards. So that's quite going in with it. So purple flames, like a fire, but I knew it wasn't hot. How odd. Not really. It could have been your the violet flame. You know, you can have that for protection. You know, it can burn off negativity. Yeah. So not really. Not really. And it is a protection anyway, because you're cleansing your energy. So it could have been cleansing your energy as well, your aura, with the violet flame. You know. So yeah, cool. Some people visualize things, some people feel things, some people, you know. I love that when you sang, I felt emotional. I saw pink magenta energies. Ooh, yeah. And that's red and blue, isn't it? And I always see that as a masculine and feminine divine energy because that colour mixed together. All cards just come out. And we've got Star Ancestor. And, you know, I think the energy is quite ancestral. Hi, Red Eye. So, ancestral, it says Star Ancestor. Follow your voice of your soul. Well, funny how I was just saying, you know, light language, I just go with the flow. I'm not trying to think of like, what does it mean? Because light language is before, you know, structured language. You just feel it. So that's a card that just fell out. Cards are used for divination, which means divine, because they come through spirit guides, you know, spirit, the great spirit helping you out, your higher self that already knows what the answer is anyway. So let's do another one. I feel healing energy. Yes, it's healing energy as well, because it's releasing. So thank you, Mr. B, 714. Yes, it should lift your mood, because it was for cleansing negativity. You know, when you're at work or around about people, even if you have to be around them people, because you can have family and friends who can be negative, even though your family and love them, they can be doomers and gloomers, you know. But your energy, if you're not powering up your aura, you know, that can get in. You're welcome. Feeling fabulous. I don't know, it was, yes. Oh, 2 cards fell out. Oh, 2 cards. And this one's just flipped over. So we've got, I'd say that one came up last. We've got Medicine Mother, because I'd say that language sounds very, you know, as I said, ancient. We've got Medicine Mother. Honour your inner knowing. Exactly. That's a bit like what I was just saying. You know, I do what I feel. I'm not scared of doing it. I just do it because that's, I feel like I should be doing it. It's an inner knowing. An inner knowing. And then we've got Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Yes, I'm setting my sights higher. I'm definitely setting my sights higher in the new year. With more revelations coming out, more things happening, it's getting a bit easier with stuff. And then, funny enough, what I was just saying about next year and summer, you know, you get your more vitality. We've got this card saying summer, and then obviously at the bottom it says bask in joy and light, because we do more in them times, you know. Like I said, autumn's all the resting period, slowing down, observing, slowing, not going into too much action with everything, you know. It's like slowing down a bit, thinking about your goals and things for next year, for when spring comes in. And summer's like massive release in it of your joy and the light, and you get energized by the sun and everything. So maybe it's about goal setting for next year. If you're worried that you didn't get much done this year, you've always got time to do it. You know, what is time? And don't fear about it. And like I just tried to say before, you might have had goals this year that maybe didn't happen because of this, that and the other. Maybe family got in the way, this and the other. That's how things work. But then maybe you look back and think, actually, that's okay, because I feel like I want to do this. We're always learning and growing. And I said to the girl who came yesterday, she went, I love learning new things. I went, so do I. That's why I'm always arting or learning new techniques with things. Or people might think I'm always flitting to this, that and the other, because I love it. You can just go from infinity and beyond, because that's what I believe we're doing anyway. Constantly learning. You don't want to stay stagnant, stay still, cycling old cycles, because it's boring, it's painful. It doesn't do you any good. It makes you ill. And you're just not learning anything anymore, you know, so it's just not a good energy. I just feel like one more out of these cards as well. And it is scary sometimes when you're learning new things. Like when I went for a new job, I didn't know things about it when I went, and I had to learn. Now I've been there quite a while, I'm like pro at it. And even they've been saying this week, have you done that? Have you done all them? And I'm like, yeah, I've done them already. You know, you're getting your little flow of things, and you know what you're doing, so you become a bit faster in things and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what happens. Oh, we've just got a load that just jumped out. So, oh, right. So, Lord, take charge with authority. Take charge of your own life and your responsibility. You know, you can only take charge of your life, nobody else. This is why I said before, if you know, change it, don't blame it. It's not about blaming the situation you're in. It's about looking at it and thinking, what can I do that will move me from this situation? So take charge. Next one, guardian angels. You are not alone. You're not alone. Guardian angels around you all the time. I was filming mine the other day that I put up. They expect it from you all the time. When you do that, though, they don't take into consideration bad days. Oh, what's that? What have I just said? What was that, Red Eye? Red Eye Jedi. You know, and we all have shit going on in our own lives. We all have ups and downs, ebb and flow. We all have it. No one doesn't. But it's learning how to control your emotions, what to act on, what not to act on. The energy of the universe coming in, planetary energy, all affects us, everything, because we're all connected. When you get in the flow. Oh yeah, when you get in the flow. Yeah. And I think people think sometimes, you know, people don't have bad days. I have bad days, but I know how to not stay in it for too long. Or if there is something, I think, oh, what's that? You know, there's something I need to change. And it might not come straight away. It might be like, oh, yeah, okay. I've been in a great flow state lately, very fluid, so grateful. All your help and advice. Thank you, Michelle. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, you know. I just know, like I did the light language now, I just know when I feel like I need to do something, I'll come and do it. And then we've got Wise One. Oh, which reminds me of remember, these are up on Instagram. Lovely Christmas presents. Wise One. We're all wise, you know. Anyone saying someone isn't wise out there, or they're the only being, or they're Jesus Christ reincarnated, whatever, it's a load of bullshit. You're all wise. It's just when you start tapping into that, you know, your, what would you call it? Your Akashic record, your whatever you want to call it, because it's called many different things. Your pool of knowing, you've all got it. It just depends if you're using it wisely and making sure it is yours and not just thoughts that are flowing around everywhere. You know, when people say meditate, you have a lot of thoughts that come in, but you've got to let some thoughts just watch them. And that's what a girl was saying who came yesterday. I said, yeah, you just watch them because they're not always yours. Big cosmic brain out there with lots of thoughts and things going on, because we are all together in this, you know, in that big soup up there. Loads of different thoughts going out and energy going out. Imagine it as a big brain, if people don't get it, with everybody's thoughts going out. That's why you can pull things in and different ideas, and if you don't pull it in, someone else will get it. Someone said that, a celebrity, I think it was Michael Jackson or someone, you normally got to jump on it when it comes in. If not, it'll just go. That's what a lot of us do sometimes. We think of something, we're like, oh, I don't know. Don't act on it. Someone else has the same or similar, say, invention, I don't know. And people go, oh, he stole the invention. No. They acted on it before maybe the other person. That's why sometimes if you think of something and you think, oh my God, that'd be a really good, I don't know, invention. And then you look around and you actually see someone else has done it. They've not stole it off you, it's all there. But Michael Jackson said something like, I'm sure it was Michael Jackson, we've got to do this now, say it like 3 o'clock in the morning. And his people were like, what do you mean now at this time? It's like, because if I don't, Prince will, which I thought was hilarious. So if you get what I'm saying. So yeah. And it says, Wise One, grow within your current situation, which is what I was saying about situations. You've got to grow in your current situation. If you can grow in your current situation, it'll take you out of that situation if it's not a situation you want to be in. Mountains, stand your ground. There's a lot of standing ground at the minute. A lot of people getting confused with it as well. Standing ground. There's going to be a lot of standing ground over the next, well, now. I mean, it's been going for a while, but now to Christmas, into the new year, because what's going to be coming out, you could call it revelations, is going to be really hard for some people, but people are going to have to stand up after they know, and they're going to have to stand up, and they will stand the ground, and they will stand strong. And yeah, you're going to be seeing that. Eagle energy. You've got the eagle energy, see from a higher perspective. This is what I'm saying about observing, because you can see what's going on from a higher perspective of what's going on in this game of life. You know, what's occurring. But like I said, with the nurturing over autumn, you don't have to react to everything that's going out, because sometimes there's things that need to happen. And like I said, with thoughts, they're not all your own anyway. So you have to be careful what you're actually acting on. And sometimes entities and things want you to act, and that's why other thoughts will come in your head sometimes, dynamic forces, because they want you to act on it. Yeah, elder, again, we've got a lot of elder energy going on, a lot of messages from the elder, the ancient times, you know, all that sort of good stuff. Move beyond ancestral patterns. No shit, Sherlock. Too many people are in ancestral patterns. I am as well, we all are, you know, we're cutting ties with it. we're learning to get out of them, we're learning to notice them, we're learning to observe them and go, oh my God, that's that again coming up. Comes up, look at it, work through it, speak to it, sell it. But lots of people will be going through ancestral patterns, realising that they are repeating an ancestral pattern, and you can, you know, release it for them as well. I've spoke about that before. But there's going to be a lot of that coming up as well, because it's going to be a lot of, like, I believe over this time, over autumn and winter, a lot of Dark Night of the Souls for people waking up that have, you know, not gone through that. Yeah, and then we've got Shield Maiden. Oh yeah, with the blue one. And it says Shield Maiden, exactly what I was just saying at the beginning about goals and stuff. Make plans and focus. This is what I've always been talking about. Focus on what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to bring into it. It's not always easy sometimes. We have the human life here, you know, with family, kids, people, whatever, work, blah, 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 blah. But you've just got to keep making the plans and focusing. And it's not about focusing on others. It's about focusing on yourself, where you want to go with that. That can, you know, help you in the end and others around you. So, was that the last one? Yes, we've got that in. That energy in. Oh, and that was just left on its own. So I was talking about being intuitive. It says, take note of intuitive messages. You're all intuitive. No one is above anyone. You all have intuitive messages all the time. The thing is, as I was saying to the lady who came yesterday, a lot of people don't hear messages because they're too distracted by other stuff. Life, basically. Kids, family, the TV, your phone, whatever, all them things that are distract you away from sometimes hearing things, seeing things come in, noticing stuff sometimes because you're distracted. Likes to distract so you're not seeing things. It likes to distract you sometimes to the dark side, to the things that are not really you. And this is why I say about all the, you know, a lot of people have been talking about all the crap that's going on YouTube, people doing hit pieces and all that. And I've talked about that for a bit because personal experience. And people have got to look like, is, you know, the people who do that, is that really you? Is that really what you want to portray, that that's the sort of person you are? These channels that do that, there is many all over different platforms. Is that their energy in, or is someone pushing them into that energy? Because it's not a very loving energy. So with that going on, that's why I said you've got to be really protecting your auric field, because things come in. I'm going to do the Earth Alchemy Oracle and see what Gaia has got to say. But yes, also, like I said, autumn equinox, people, release and let go, release and let go. So you can flow, so you can flow, so you can flow. E shonora i tonora, e kashotonora, e anawata shotori ranawa, e shoturi, anawatu shotu. Yeah, work on the deck, were gorgeous. Yeah, and these ones, this one, sorry, we had the owl on that one, very lovely artwork on there, and this one's like crystals, lovely crystals that hold information, energy. They're just sort of like little, not very detailed, but we'll see what we get. Ooh. So we got Lilac Spirit Quartz. Lilac Spirit Quartz is speaking and saying community, healing, division, teamwork, freedom. Well, there's a lot of this going on because you'll see a lot of people getting together. I don't mean people on YouTube, but people actually going out there, getting together with people. They're doing events. You know, a lot of the same people we all watch are doing events, getting out there. I think Mark Atwood's in America at the minute, which is beautiful. Tom Numbers as well. But like, there's loads of people getting out and about. And I don't just mean YouTube. I mean, there's events that me and my fella want to go to, and some that we went to where people are, you know, they're rebuilding, they're putting mini festivals out, they're doing workshops, they're doing this, that, and the other, and everyone's coming together because, you know, this is what we want to do, especially after lockdown. The teamwork and the freedom of that as well, the healing, the division, because there's loads of division going on. I mean, diversity is brilliant because it'd be boring without it, and we can all get on, but we can all have different, we don't have to agree on everything. You know, diversity is brilliant, otherwise it'd be a really boring world, but we're healing the division, because with the division that's been going on, that's clearly been going on in the outside world with what they're portraying, we know is illusion. It's dividing people, but they want that, because divided we're weak, together we're stronger. But we're healing the division, because what's coming after people have got over the shock and realise how certain things work, they will pull together. And I've said that before, they will pull together, and those that need healing will get the healing. So it's all going to be beautiful in the end. A picture that has been on my wall, from it's disappeared one day. I thought my sons had took it off. It reappeared the next day. Don't talk about things disappearing and reappearing, because I've had big headphones. I'm like, where's my headphones? Where's my headphone? My fella's like, how many have you got there? Then I'm like, the next day it's there. And then I'm like, well, you know when you think you're getting senile? Then it's like, where have I put that? Like, where is it? It disappeared, it reappeared. But yeah, I'd say timeline shifts, isn't it? Timeline shifts. Let's pull another one. I bet there's loads of people who are getting that. Yeah, firm boundaries, said Michelle. I'm always talking about boundaries. And the girl that came around yesterday, she said she used to be really soft. I used to be really soft. She said she knew she had to stop doing that. You have to set your boundaries. You can't just let anyone in. You know, people are letting people in. They don't know. I mean, into the space. They don't know. They're wondering why things are happening. You don't really, do you know what I mean? And you wouldn't do that in real life. You know, you wouldn't be like, I've learned lessons in the past, trust me. But, you know, you just don't let anyone nilly-willy in. You just don't. It's not protecting you at all. And it's not like, you know, people in spiritual, oh, it's just like, oh, it's all loving, it's all, no, it's not. It's not loving yourself if someone's going to, you know, end up being harming you or something because you've been too naive or whatever the word is. So I love this because I've just got some, I can never say this, obsidian and hellebore, I think, I don't know, shadow mirror. And I've got some like, I'm going to be making some necklaces out of it. I might make some, men might quite like them actually because of the colour, but the brown and black, I might go and get them. I think they're in there. Deep healing, understanding, seer. There is deep healing coming. There's an understanding. There will be an understanding of the dark soul of the night, the dark of the night. Why won't it come out? Someone say it. That's not even. Picture disappeared and reappeared in day. What's that about? Yeah. All these things happening with energy. Sorry, Dark Night of the Soul, it just won't come out then. Dark Night of the Soul, there's a lot of deep healing and understanding. Once people understand, it's easier. And also when they start understanding about the self and why the life's been the way it has. When we look back, we can look at the bad things as good things because it's like, well, it moved you forward. And I saw someone today talking about, lovely Laura, talking about, you know, people will say about their, you know, what they came here to do and all that. It's basically, you're doing it. All of your life, even the shitty things, is part of where you're going to be and where you're at and what's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It all interlinks with everything. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. You know, we'll get there in the end. I heard people say about the love and light doesn't mean we're naive and take shit. You know, that's one of the biggest things that makes me absolutely piss my sides with the spiritual community, if you want to call it that. We're all spiritual because we came from the great spirit, so, you know, you're not. But they always say about love and light, and you don't really get me going, oh, love and light and all that, because, yeah, it's brilliant. But we're not all in love and light at the minute because there's too much division. And also, a lot of people do that, and I think it was put out there because they're letting it, like I said earlier, nilly-willy in to their own energy in real life and everything, and then they're wondering why shit's happening. And it's like, no, it's not. We're going to love and light, but it is not like that at the minute. And also we're spiritual, but we're spiritual warriors, just like Michelle said there. Some people put it this way, there's different, like there's all the waves of people waking up and the different waves of people that came in, you know, with Dolores Cannon and all that sort of stuff. And I believe in that, but I also believe there's different aspects as well. There's people who are really soft and they would be walked all over, and I have in the past. I've learned from that, came more of a bit of a warrior spirit now. And they've done their job, and they are all lovely, like. You could heal the people, and then you could go, look, right, we've got you, you're awake, you're fine, you need healing, right. There you go, to you lot over there who were all singing out Love and Light, Kumbaya and all that. They'll go and help you out. But you have to get people on the battlefield. You know, you got the soldiers on the battlefield. The ones that get injured will go to the nurses, if you get what I'm saying. So, and that's not bad on any part. It's just saying you've got like the ones who are quite soft, and they wouldn't go into battle because they wouldn't be able to see everything that's going on and be like, oh, they just wouldn't work well. So they're all right with the healers way back in the field there. I'm a healer. You're all healers. We can all heal ourselves. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm more of a warrior type as well, which it does mean, just because you're spiritual does not mean that you're a doormat. Some people think, so if you're being a bit fiery one day, like I can be, we all have different aspects. Like I'm fired up today. Ooh, that's unspiritual. Like, ooh, you can't say that about that. It's like, yes, I can. Because I never said I was a doormat. I never said I was a, you know, you get people who are spiritual, you'll see them, and I'm not getting at them either. They're lovely. They'll talk very calmly. The presence is very, ooh, you know, ooh, I don't know if they've ever sworn in their life. I don't know. And that's not getting them then. They're all beautiful. And sometimes I think, God, I wish I could be like that. But that's not me. I'm just me. And it doesn't mean if I've sworn or I've said something, I'm unloving. It's just me. You've got to have a laugh of it as well. There's a load of people out there like that. But we're warriors because we want people to heal. We want people to see. We want the ascension, you know, of consciousness, you know, we want all that, but we have to be a bit strong and a bit hard with it, because the side that's been, you know, suppressing humanity is pretty goddamn evil, and it doesn't give a shit. So you need warriors of light to go against that, you know? And you don't go into battle unprepared. And it's like Lord of the Rings. Got 7/7 there. The elves and all that, no one really wanted to fight, but all the clans had to come together. It's in every story told. They had to come together. And some of them didn't want to fight. They didn't want some of the people dying. They didn't want, you know, they were sacrificing themselves and everything, you know, doing this. They didn't want that. But when the shit hits the fan, when something's coming in and coming against all humanity and a way of life and peace and love and all that, which, you know, back then, happens again, you're not just going to sit and let people come in and do that, or different beings or whatever it is, you know, in this is what happens. You're not going to just sit there and go, yeah, it's all right, take over. They've done it very creepily. They've done it very behind the curtains. They've done it underground. They've done it in front of our faces, but we didn't know the illusion. But no, you're not just going to sit there and take it. It's like, right, this comes to the point where we go into battle. We are in a battle. We've been in a battle for a long time. It is a spiritual battle on many different levels, but it's here on this physical plane as well. That's why you're seeing out there what's happening is happening. But we can't go into a World War III because we're already in it. We never came out of World War II. Wait till people realise that. They were just sneaky fuckers. So I'm in that energy today. You see, I'm in my riled up energy, but it's not a hateful energy. It's just a fun energy. So yeah, we've got that of a deep healing, you know, shadow mirror. We're looking at ourselves. We're seeing what we can fix in ourselves, but it's also going to be mirrored out there in the outside world, which it is doing. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. You are. Ooh. Card just hit the chimes. Then we've got, probably not saying this right, petalites, cosmic downloads, higher heart healing, see the bigger picture. It is a higher heart healing, but it doesn't just mean the heart's going to have to heal for what people are going to, you know, be acknowledging, because we heal through the heart. So there's going to be a lot of that higher heart healing. See the bigger picture, because when people see the bigger picture, they're going to need a lot of healing, trust me. Wow. But it's all okay. It's not a bad thing. This had to happen. It had to happen. Pandora's box has been blown open. And then another one is Azurite and Orchid. I probably must have said that beginning that wrong. That's really funny because I was showing orchids before on my last video. Lyran Stargate, and it says personal power, healing again, healing entanglements, throat opening. So we've got your personal power that goes with your throat opening. Speak your truth. I was listening to someone today on the way to work who was saying, oh, you know, I didn't speak the truth and I felt like it had been shut off, but then they started speaking the truth, you know, because we're seeing things in the world, and they started speaking the truth like most people do, and people think you're crazy and blah blah blah, but all that happens as well. And the healing entanglements, because we're all entangled together, you know, we are all where we go when we go, we're all connected. And this is why people, I said like before, people are talking about similar things, because it is happening. And it's just basically a lot of healing. Diamond Heart Seed Crystal. I love this. The Golden Age Wisdom. Wow. Boom. Golden Age Wisdom. And then it says at the bottom, DNA activation. Well, we know that's happening. Like Lemuria. I was thinking Lemuria today. Lemuria Priestess Awakening. Because there is a lot of divine feminines waking. You know, there's a lot more men that have to come through. Because, sorry, I don't mean the men on here or all men, but a lot of men are in the mines. A lot. But it's that like priestess feminine energy, but there is the feminine energy in the men and vice versa, because masculine and feminine is in both sexes. It doesn't mean you're batting for the other side or anything like that. It doesn't matter if you are. I'm just saying it's in, you know, and we're bringing it into balance. But because the woman, the divine feminine, was always suppressed, because it has been, you know, throughout the time, throughout the decades of certain things with women, it was always suppressed. And you know, I always say it goes back to many different things, and the witches, and you know, they were called out for using earth energies and lovely herbs and things like that, and it was seen as demonic because it was, you know, healing people because they didn't want you healing. And but there's been loads of different stories of different things back in the past, which is still the now, of that suppression of the divine feminine energy. And we know that is rising because it is, you know, time of the divine feminine, time for her story, not his story, whoever was winning at the time. But yeah, Priestess Awakening. So that to me is just like, we're all awakening. You know, you probably have seen a lot more women speaking out about it actually, but it's awakening within all of us. Nobody's not going to awaken. A lot of people are scratching their heads. And like I said before, the reason why it takes time is because you're not trying to shock too many people, you know, into a shocking waking up. I think that might happen with some, but yeah, Golden Age Wisdom, and we are going into the Golden Age. But it's the DNA activation, and it, you know, it's starting. It's been happening for a long time. I don't mean it's starting. It's been happening for a long time for some. Maybe slower or faster than others. Depends how you're working on yourself, you know, like I said, your Trinity and all that. But I just think it's a thing that has naturally been developing over time. Even if people don't know, you know, a lot of people say, I've got this, I've got that, you know, and they'll say it's ascension symptoms and this, that, and the other. And I believe in that. I also believe there's some things that are not ascension symptoms. It's just illnesses popping out that people need to look at and heal, because, you know, it doesn't mean everything's that. So anyway, that's them cards. And what I'm going to do now is just do one out that ask and it is given. And then I'll see if there's any more light language before I go. It's Friday. Remember that advert, Frank Crunchy, it's Friday. So yeah, quite excited about this weekend. Oh, it's the 24th tomorrow as well. Is that why there was a shift of energy today? You know, the 24th, everyone's going on about. Ushutura onova ashitanora inawa tashiniawa. Ushuturia anawa. Because when I feel like something needs to come up, I'll just do it. Yes, and it's the equinox. Yeah, I just said that at the beginning. We're going through the autumn equinox, Mayborn, which is beautiful. Like I said, be like a tree. Your leaves are falling off. Release that energy. Let it go. Follow nature and you can't go wrong. Nurture. Oh, there we go. Got two cards. So we've got I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being. I think everyone's, coming to that. We refer to the non-physical as non-physical as your inner being or your source. It is not important what you call that source of energy. It isn't, because everyone calls it's like God in it. Everyone calls it different. Important that you are consistently aware of when you are allowing a full connection to it and when you are resisting it in some way. You're resisting it by not wanting to flow, staying stagnant, being fearful of, change for the better. I learned to pay attention to my feelings. We were talking about before. Your emotions are absolute indicators of your current point of attraction. They help you know in any moment whether or not you are currently allowing the fulfillment of your desire. It is our encouragement that you pay attention to how you feel and how your emotions to be the valuable indicators they are. So I say, if you're always in anger, fear, worry and all that, there's something going on, that you need to change up. And switch up so you can move from that. It can mean that you're stuck in certain situations, like I've said before. Things aren't flowing because there's a pattern or something you repeat in it's just not allowing you to let new things in. So that's why I said you've got to start looking at what you're doing on a daily basis. That's getting a bit repetitive. Like, sometimes you don't see it at first, but that's why it's good to write things down. Like I said, what are you angry about? We don't blame others and other things going on. We look at what it is. It's like, for example, you get all these young influencers who are everywhere, doing whatever they're doing. And, when you're younger, you can be more you're more emotional, obviously, and young girls would look at someone else and be like, ooh, look at her. It's like the film Mean Girls, isn't it? Ooh, look at her. She's doing that. And really, it's because they're jealous. They're not thinking, oh, look at her. She's done really well. Like, say she's brought out a makeup range or something or whatever, I don't know. But she's worked on that behind the scenes for a long time. They don't see that. So they get jealous and it's like, and chucking shade and all that. But really, they should be like, wow, how did she do that? Maybe I need to find out how she did that, because maybe I want to start off, I was thinking of a makeup range, not me personally, because I'm not. I was thinking of a makeup range. Oh my God, isn't she doing well for herself at such a young age? Wow, how inspiring is that? I want to go and do that. What do I need to go to start looking at that? What do I need to go and learn? Do I need to go and learn something? Do I need to go on a course? That's how you do it. You look at people you're inspired by, and you're like, right, I want to do that, so I'm going to look into this, this and this. Wow, that person's such an inspiration. You don't get jealous over someone building on something or what they've got, this, that and the other. They've done that through doing something. People who point fingers is because they're not doing it. Rather than be like that, be happy someone's doing that, and maybe, they're even showing you how they did it, so you can go about and go and do the thing that you want to do. That's supporting. I read that somewhere recently. Stop looking for something, you already have it. Stop expecting things to happen, and they will happen naturally. Yeah, they do. Like I said, with your goals, you have got to put action behind them. Like I said, they didn't just spring up out of thin air. I had to sit down and draw the designs before they could come into reality and manifest here, like they have done. Otherwise, I could have just left that in my head and gone, oh yeah, not. But I had to sit down, draw it out, purchase my thingy machine, print them out, and I'll be doing others. So, but when you're younger, this is alchemy. This is what alchemy is. People think it's witches, and it's like alchemy. When you're younger, you're more emotional, and you're trying to learn to balance your emotions. And emotions are good, but you don't have to run away with every emotion, and you learn what certain emotions are and why you feel that way, but you also alchemize them. You also learn how to, keep them balanced, because if they're out of whack, it's not really good. It's going to make you do things that you've just acted out of emotion, when really you should have just observed and gone, oh, why is that emotion come up in me? Why do I feel like that? That's what it's all about, you know. And then the other one was it that one? It must have been. I learned to pay attention to my feelings. Did we read that one out? Oh yeah, indicators, and then we did the being. So it's all good. It's all good. And sometimes it's not like you realise in the moment. You just think after, oh God, like why was... And then you think, right, next time that occurs, I'm going to try and not act that way. And even if it happens again and you do, think, right, and just keep doing it till you get out of that cycle of repeating. And then, obviously, more and more, it's going to become natural not to be in that pattern of behaviour. Because we've been programmed for a very long time to be in certain patterns of behaviours. So it's not like it's just like a switch and you switched straight away, you know. You just think, right, next time, tomorrow's a new day, I'm going to get up and I'm going to try again, try again. God loves a trier, do you know what I mean? So don't look at it as doom and gloom and, oh, you know, I did that, or I ate that, or I said that, or I didn't do that thing. It's like, right, okay, so you can try again and again and again and again till you get it right. I've still got things I need to get right, but I'm aware of it, and I know, you know, working on things. So like we all are, nobody isn't working on something. So yeah. So I hope that helps anyway for you guys that are in. Like I said, I'll try. I can't link. I don't think I can link my Instagram on here. I can do it on my computer, which is charged, not gone through. I've just had to keep writing it underneath, and I've forgotten someone asked before, so I'll have to write it in again. But it is Reiki Wellbeing by Janine. You'll find me on Instagram if you're interested in anything that you've seen. Be happy for others, and karma will reward you. Exactly, because it's what you put out is what you get back. A lot of people out there don't understand that. The energy you're putting out and how you think towards others, and like Red Eye Jedi just said there, if someone's got something like a business, support them, wish them well, whatever, and then that will come back to you. If you're just out there dooming and glooming on people, you know, feeling worthless or unto-do because someone's doing as you think better than you, the only reason why they're doing better than you is because they're actually doing something to get there, to do their thing of whatever their passions are and whatever they're into. So you have to go and do those things, those courses, that thing, what I don't know, whatever it is, to push yourself in that direction. You know, don't look at someone of like, ooh, look at it like, oh, I wonder how they did. Oh, I what, you know, blah blah blah. Like I just said before, all makes sense to me. And then that energy will come back. And like I said before, that's why it shows up in the world. What you put out is what you get back. So if you're not happy, you're constantly, complaining about stuff, that's because you're complaining about people and things. So it comes back, because that's how the universe works. So change it up. Like I said in the title, change it up, do the change instead of the blame, and watch good things happen. So yeah, so I'm gonna go. Hopefully I'll see you over the weekend. 24th tomorrow. Yeah, crazy shit happens, but we've still got to get on with our life. We've still got our human life. We've got spiritual as well, balancing it up, not one without the other. If you're disconnected, 2A, no good. If you're 2A, that's no good, because it's together. It's never happened before. It's together. They've wanted it separated, that little cell, but we're coming back to wholeness. Wholeness. It's like a little pie, and if there's sections of that little pie that's been taken out, you're not whole. Retrieve them, soul retrieval, retrieve them aspects of you, the good aspects of you, the dark and the light, and blend them and bring them back into balance. And it's a bit better. It's a bit like this over here, actually. my fellas, whatever this is. Here's all the negativity, and here's all the calmness, even though it's a different colour. I'd say one, it doesn't really matter, but you know what I mean? We've been disconnected, so we're pushing these bits back together, you know, into balance, to be whole again. You can make me whole again. What was that song now? Looking back on when I can't remember the song. I cannot forget. Baby, you're the one. Oh yeah, that's that song. Oh, started singing it. I'm in one of the moods today, so in a high energy mood because I felt something shift earlier on at dinner time. So I'm just thinking if I could bring some light language singing in, because that's what I was doing in the kitchen before. I did a bit before. So let's see before I go. I sing the light language. Eshanura, 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 Uanura. That went a bit rough. Uanura, Eshanuri anawa, Eshanuri ura. Fingers are tingling. Ushuturia nawa, Ushutura nawa, Eshaturi nura, Eshatura nura, heart chakra, Ushatura nura, Ushatura nura, Ushunura, Ushunura. Eshatura, Eshatura, Ushatura Rinura, Eshatu, Eshaturi Nawa, Eshaturu Nawa, Ushunura, Ushunura, Eshananawawa. I don't know. Anyway, have a great day, the rest of your day. I'm going to go and do a bit of tidying up, blast some music out, listen to something while I'm tidying up. While everybody's out. Oh, yeah. And I might get a last bit of the sun in the garden. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, let it go, let it go. Yeah, I was singing that before. Let it go, let it go. Blast that out and sing that. That's a good energy release. Let it go. Let it go. Let's see if anyone else is just saying anything new before I go. But yeah, it's nice to end on Red Eye Jedis. Be happy for others and karma will reward you, definitely. As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul, and I will see you soon. Bye.